But yeah, so as you can see, I've done the Mod 1 course layout, and I've tried to get it to the best sort of dimensions as possible. Now I haven't really got the width as the same as the course, but I was really struggling with the U-turn. But as you can see, the U-turn, white cones there and white cones there, that's 7.5 meters. It's massive. I was trying to do it in the public roads, and it's just over 5 meters you get on a public road. So obviously I was really struggling with it, and I was really panicking. And I've actually dropped the bike as well because I was trying to do a tight turn. But since I learned it was 7.5 and I actually measured out 7.5, the actual distance is huge, and I can pretty much perfect it in 6 meters. So if anyone is worried about the U-turn, don't be worried, because the actual area is massive. When you're on the bike, I mean, I don't even know how it comes out on the GoPro, but my white cone there and to the white cones over there is actually really, it's a real big area, and it's so easy. So please don't worry about the U-turn, it's so easy. So as you can see, the first exercise, I've got the green box there and the green box there. That's where you have to do the manual handling, and then once you get back on the bike, you come from the manual handling, you go into the slalom, which I haven't done it to the exact course dimensions because of the size I've got in this car park. But then you can see I go to the yellow cones. I apologize if it's windy, I don't know how I'm going to be able to protect from the noise, but anyway, so you can see that I've got the yellow cones, which are the slalom. So you come in after the first one, you come in, do your slalom, you go round. These are, I think it's 4.5 meters apart, and then the first blue is 4.5 meters, and then the second one is 6 meters to do your figure of 8. So once you come through the slalom, you go into your 6 meter figure of 8. You do 2 circuits of that until the instructor tells you to stop. Once you do that, you then come round, and you come round to here, and then from this position here, roughly, it'll be after the figure 8, so it'll be roughly about here. What you're supposed to do is then a nice controlled 2 to 3 mile an hour sort of walking pace ride. Just control the bike, keep it upright. You're supposed to stay behind the instructor. I think he walks with you from some of the videos I've seen. And then what he wants you to do is then put your bike in this box here. Let me just adjust this cone. Okay, so you put your bike in here ready for the U-turn. Once you've finished that, he'll tell you to carry on. You do your observations, you then move forward, you come in nice and tight, don't touch the white line. If you're going to stop, then what you do is when you're ready, do your observation, move observation if you want, and then move it round. Do your U-turn coming round, and once you've done the U-turn, you stop, and you come to this position here, you stop, and he says, right, the next exercise is then to go all the way up to the top, and then you do the loop round the arc, and I think it's around 19 to 20 mile an hour you need to be hitting when you go round the arc. And then, oh god, it's 67 meters, this course, so bear with me while I sound absolutely shattered as I've walked. I've had to lay out this course, it's taken me about 20 minutes to lay the course out. So yeah, so what you do is you go round the arc, you come in through them red cones there. The red and yellow there are simulating the speed trap. So the first one is you come through the speed trap at 32 mile an hour, or it's 52, is it 52 kilometers an hour? I think it works out about 32. So you come through at 32. The first one is to come through this red cones here, these 2 red cones here. You come through, and then what he wants you to do is an emergency stop. So what he'll do is he'll actually say to you, you'll need to put your arm up. Or sorry, let me start that again. As you come through them red cones at 32, he'll put his arm up in an emergency stop fashion. Now, it's not a slam on the anchors and skid down a car park. What it is supposed to be is a controlled stop. So you use the front and rear brake, and you come to a controlled stop as quickly as possible, but in control. You can demonstrate that. It's going to take a few seconds to do, but don't panic over it. You just do a nice and controlled stop. So that's what you do. You do that. Then once you've done that, he then will turn you around. You'll go back up and do the arc, the arc to get up to speed, the 19 mile an hour to 20 mile an hour arc. You come through the red cones. Now on this time, what you do is when you come round for this second time, what you're doing is a hazard avoidance. So what you're doing is you're coming through the cones, through the speed trap, and then what you do is as you come down here, you come through. So as you, sorry, let me just run up here. So as you're coming through here, and what you do is as you get to these cones, you make a nice sweeping turn and come round, not hitting the cones. If you hit the cones, you failed. So you come through here, and again, you'll come to a controlled stop. And I think I think that's it. There's 8 exercises in total. Do you know what I'm saying? I think I've actually got the bloody thing in my hand. What we're doing, so yeah, stands and manual handling, slalom, figure of 8, slow ride, U-turn, cornering, controlled stop, circuit ride at 19 mile an hour, emergency brake at 32, 19 circuit ride, and then 32 avoidance. So that is the course. It's going to take about a quarter of an hour. It's going to be really quick and simple. But honestly guys, if you can find an area like this, these little cone things cost me £7 I think for 50. So I've managed to set out the course perfectly, as you can see. I've got a friend that's coming down now who's going to meet me, and we're going to do it together because he's doing his mod 1 mod 2 in June. My mod 1 and mod 2 is in about 3 weeks time. So as you can see, I've got the full course layout here. So I'm going to grab on the bike, I'm going to give it a couple of runs. He should be here in a minute. I'm going to give it a couple of runs and wait for him to get in, and yeah, give it some practice and fingers crossed. Right, so the camera's now mounted to the side of my helmet. I don't have a helmet microphone, so I am shouting. I have literally no idea if this is going to pick up on the camera or not. Probably not, so I'm going to probably have to do a voiceover, but I'm going to narrate it anyway. So I'm going to go and practice the mod 1 now. Okay, I'm going to sweep through. Now this isn't a perfect course because obviously we're limited to space. So you bring it into a control position, you stop in the box, you select neutral, and you turn off your bike, kickstand down, and we're on a bit of a slope here, so it's going to be annoying, and then get off the bike, dismount, and then the instructor will then say to you, right, to carry on. Okay, so you observations, you pick the bike up, kickstand off, observations, and then you wheel it out. And I think there are a couple of methods doing this, but the way I've seen and the way I'll probably do it is just bringing the bike out. Now we're on a little bit of a hill here, which is a bit annoying. But you just come round, observations, keep checking, and then spin it round. And spin it round like this. Bring it into the box, take your time, spin it in and control the bike to a stop there. Stand down and stand back and wait for further instruction. He'll then tell you get back on the bike, so you get back on the bike, brake on, foot stand up straight away. He'll then say, right, I'm going to go into slalom and then into figure of 8, 2 circuits of figure of 8. Turn the bike on, first gear, observation left, observation right. I always check my mirrors, and then we'll pull away. Nice and control. I'm going to do this in the second gear. So you go in, keep the clutch in, rear brake, and just go round the cones nice and slow. Nice and slow. Okay, so there's your figure of 8. So you come in, you go round the first one, take it nice and wide, and then spin it round. Spin it round nice and wide. So we haven't really got the space here, but keep it quite tight into that first cone, and then we're going round into the second one. So we're about to complete the first manoeuvre. Here's my friend now. I'm going to carry on, and we spin it round. We spin it round here. Okay, so that's 2 circuits there. So there's your 2 circuits of figure of 8. And what the instructor does is then he'll bring you over to a stop, and he'll stop you roughly in front of the blue cones. When you stop, you select first gear or neutral, and what you'll do is he'll then say to you, right, I want you to nice controlled speed down to the blue cones and stop in the blue box. So you select first, check your observations, and then pull away. So we're doing nice controlled speed now. So we're going there. I mean, you get 2 to 3 mile an hour, and I'm registering nothing at the moment, so I'm doing quite well. You come down, and what you're going to be asked to do is then stop in the blue box. So you stop like that, and then you can do your observations again or whatever. Now the next thing is the U-turn. So we've got 7.5 meters of U-turn, so it is actually quite a big zone. So we do your observations, you then come out, you go around to keep it nice and tight to this white line without going too far over. As you come, you do your observations, and look where you want to go. Look where you want to go. It's nice and easy. Just control it round, and then come to a stop, put your foot down, and wait for your further instruction. The next one is we're going up, and we're going to do an arc round. Now we've got to come round at quite a steep angle. So we're going to come round, and we're going to do the emergency stop. So again, observation, observation, and we go. So we're going up. What we do in a minute, yeah? I've almost finished, right, so I'm going to put 32 mile an hour. That's nice and gravelly here, so I'm going to take it nice and steady. Now, obviously I'm not going to do the arc because I haven't got the full size of the thing. Plus I'm on a 125, it's very hard to get up to speed. So we go up. Okay, so I skidded there, so not supposed to skid. I think that's because of the gravel. Yeah, I've got gravel here, so. And the last exercise is the hazard avoidance. So what we're doing with this is we're going to come up. Now I wasn't up to speed then, because again it's very difficult to get up to 32 mile an hour on a 125. Very difficult, and plus there's loads of gravel in here, so we're going to go up through the speed trap and round the blue cone, and that's it, and your job done. And that's it, that's the end of the test, and he'll then ask you to go back to the gatehouse or wherever it is, down to the gate, but always do your observations as well. So that's it. Alrighty. Piece of cake. Now, perfect, spot on. That was perfect. Within the box, so don't overshoot the blue cones. Not bad, was it? Better, wasn't it? Yeah, 32, exactly 32. So this one's a 20 mile an hour. Oh, see, that's fucking easy. You need to try this one actually as well.